Hi, everyone. No, I feel like that's really weird. I'm Jake. I'm joined here in my, we'll call it the black room. Everything is black in here.
Call it the Black Studio.
The black studio. It's a work in progress. This is our first episode, but I'm joined with Ashley in the black room.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
We're two HR professionals. We, over the last few years, have been growing our careers. I feel like I'll let you introduce yourself, but like a little bit about me. I mean, you know my background, but I started in HR. It was a while ago after I graduated college, and it wasn't really
What
a
year was that?
2020
Back in the 1900s.
during COVID. It wasn't something that I was like actively like this is where I want to go in life, but I I think my first job like in the HR world was I was recruiting for a nursing agency. And during COVID, obviously, that was like the height of, everything. And so it was a good job. But then they decided to close the office here. And so I had to find a new one. And so then I moved to another town close to here and started working at a hospital. And that was a completely different world because I went from recruiting to like an HR specialist, which I was like, okay, what am I doing? And so I started onboarding these employees and like doing their I-9s. And they're like, make sure you're doing that right. And I was like, okay, I've never done this before. So let's go for it. Um, and then slowly I started working more with our actual generalists and then our benefit generalists. And then she left. And so I became the benefit generalist. Again, I don't know why you're having some young kid just fresh out of college do 2,000 people's benefits by myself. It's crazy to me, but I learned a lot during that time. And then they randomly made me the interim manager and then the manager of the HR department, which is funny because, again, I just started out in HR probably like 2 years before this. And so I'm still learning. And they just put all their trust in me. It was crazy. So then after that, I interviewed. I was just done. I was driving way too far. So I interviewed closer to home at a hospital here. And that's actually where we met is during my first interview. I know it was so terrible. And I get reminded of it all the time. But I interviewed for a recruiting position. I first interviewed with the director who left the first week I started.
Yeah.
But the second interview was with like 8 of you guys and I was terrified.
I just remember you coming in for your onboarding and what you wore.
I was so professional. I was wearing a tie
He had on a white shirt,
and a
a
tie.
white button up shirt.
Looked like I was about to preach Jesus to people, but I really was just trying to get a job in HR. So anyway, that's where I first met you, and from there, I think we became good friends. I learned a lot, and I moved up, and then after my days in the hospital, I went to private practice and became a director of HR, which is crazy to think about over the span of like 4 or 5 years. I went from like a special or a recruiter for an agency and then a specialist to a director. Um, and mind you, like the schooling I had did not help during this time. It was all internet and like on the job based stuff. But now I'm the HR director somewhere. And I'm proud of that. I have a master's degree now, which I think is pretty cool. But again, school does not help you with the things you need to know about HR in general or like anything that comes your way. And I think that's like what I wanted this podcast to be about is like those things that like you get hit with and you're like, oh shit, what do I do in this situation? Because first off, I'm like,
It's not all textbook.
no, I'm like a 20-year-old, 20 something year old, not 20. I'm older than that. But you're young and you're
Yeah.
telling these people like what they should and shouldn't do. And it's like, HR, there's so many like legality things that it's not like black and white. There's like a lot of gray in certain areas.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's my upbringing in HR, and that's like where I started and where I've gone. And it's just been a crazy ride. So
Yeah.
tell me about your journey here, because I know, again, we met it seems like forever ago. I think it was like 4 years ago.
Yeah. That's a high school career. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So
And
much growth,
yeah,
for sure.
I think we both have grown a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I took some notes about what you were just like kind of talking about, and I think it's really wild that you like graduated in the middle of 2020 and then we're like recruiting for nurses.
Right.
Talk about being thrown into the fire.
Well, what's crazy about that job is they were like, here's a pay scale. Just figure out what you should pay them. And I was like,
No experience. How do I do this?
$45 an hour. Sure. Yeah, you can have that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Is that okay? But yeah, they just let me do that. Like, that was the craziest part to me, was like deciding these people's pay and feeling like, oh my gosh, like that's a lot of
Yeah.
money I'm giving these people.
That's wild. Also too, like, not to make this like the glass ceiling or anything, but like your story basically proves like how easy it is for men to move up in like HR like that.
Oh yeah.
Like a lot of opportunities open for you guys more than women do, I think. And I'm not hating on you at all. Like I'm happy for you because that's really cool. But also too, like with the burnout I experienced, like I'm not jealous of you at all. At the same time, like I'm happy for you, but I'm like that's like
Yeah.
your thing, and like I love that for you.
Yeah. No, I totally get that. I think I've been fortunate enough to have like these bosses who have been men, but I do see that because of we both were on the same trajectory of like, you knew way more than anybody else in this hospital as far as HR goes, but like I was the one, getting promoted, or like
Yeah.
it honestly seemed like they would not give you the time of day, which I think was like a huge like part of your burnout, because
Yeah.
you had brought that up to them. I remember so many times of like, hey, but they were willing to keep you in this same job so many
Yeah.
times. Like, I remember how many pay increases you got, which was crazy because I did payroll. Um, they're willing to pay you, but they're not willing to move you up into these like bigger roles.
Yeah, which is one of the curses of being really good at your job sometimes.
Right.
So, but
Curse you, brain. You're just such a hard worker. They're going to take advantage of you.
Yeah.
And that's what they did.
yeah, no. But honestly, like I have no ill will towards you because I've seen like the great things that have happened in your life since, and like it's amazing, and I'm like really happy for you. Like truly as a friend, like really
Thank
happy
you.
for you. Like that's so cool.
Yeah.
So, I guess about me. So, I have about 7+ years in HR. And I feel really weird like saying this again because I said it earlier and now I feel like I'm not going to say everything like I did so eloquently earlier. But I got pulled into HR by a manager. I was an admin assistant at the time, and she's like, I think you'd be really good. Like, just come file in my office and listen while I'm in calls and meetings and stuff. And so, just imagine like you're talking to an employee about, something they shouldn't have done, and there's just like a random girl in the corner filing.
Wait, how old were you?
I
Was this like fresh out of high school?
no, I was like 22.
Oh, okay.
I had already moved to SoCal, was dating like a Marine at the time. I knew everything.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
You had your life figured out.
yeah, I knew what I was doing. But also, too, I was working there full time, but I was doing part time at like a hospital doing like patient admitting.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was definitely like on my grind because I really loved like having money, and I loved shopping.
You're a working girl. Inside joke
Inside
between
joke.
us.
But anyways, yeah, so that's kind of like where my HR career kind of took off, and then just kind of been in like the admin HR side for things, and then I kind of got thrown into the fire too at a position where it was manufacturing, and our company got bought out, and the owners they were a family, and they just kind of like checked out after the buyout and like dipped. And I remember the CFO at the time was like, all right, I need you to hold up HR. And I'm like, bruh, I've just been doing like filing and auditing the I-9s. Like, what? And we had a new system we
course
were
you did.
implementing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, like, having to keep HR afloat for like a month till they've hired a new HR director, like, tons of pressure, especially in California. Like, laws are ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I mean, I survived. And then, yeah, I think looking back, the biggest part of my career that had like the biggest impact was working at a hospital. I definitely moved up in my positions and got really good at them, but like it's just really bittersweet because like I really grinded in my roles there and I did them so well and I built up that confidence of like I know my job, I know their jobs. So, I could kind of call people on the bullshit,
Mm-hmm.
is how good I really got at it.
Right.
But that was also kind of like the despise of my career and what led me to just kind of like lose it all and just really have that like come to Jesus moment of like, is this really worth it? Like, is it really worth it?
Yeah.
And just having to give it up.
Well, no, I understand what you're saying. I could see it because yeah, you get it, and I've been in that position where like, well, we had a boss at the same time.
We had more than one boss at the same, like
I
we've had
can
like 6 bosses.
in the span of like 2 years,
Yeah.
but there is one in particular. I think we were like, I feel like every day it was like, what do we do here? What do we do here? And I was like, you've been here as long as I have, and he just could not figure it out. But I think he was a good boss for a while, and then I think he got burnt out. But he
Mm.
like used you specifically as a crutch for a lot of things, like, oh, just give it to Ashley, she knows what to do, or I feel like that was like
I was like the
everything.
scapegoat.
Yeah, and it like, because you did know more than even the director of a hospital system, which is crazy because it was 2 hospitals. It just blows my mind that like they would do that but not be willing to move you up into another role, but to just be like, yeah, let's just work her more, and also like pay her maybe a little bit more,
Mm-hmm.
instead of like, here's a way better salary, which I think would have been a lot more fair, and let's move into this role that we could create.
Even if they would have kept me in my position, um, with the money I was making, yeah, it was really good. I think if they just would have showed me like a little bit of like kindness and flexibility, like that would have made a world of difference.
Yeah.
Because I was coming in before I was supposed to start. I
Mm-hmm.
was leaving after everyone else because I was just built that way. My
Mm-hmm.
parents worked really hard too and instilled that work ethic to like, you go home when you feel good about the work you did for the day.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
Yeah, I think we both have that same work ethic, but I definitely don't have that like mentality, or I guess I didn't because um
you
I was
have
salaried
you have a
too.
beautiful way of setting boundaries and I think I kind of always like liked that about you as like a friend because like if it was time to go home like you're like, "Hey, I'm going home like I've done all I can." And I feel like that's like such a man thing because like for me, like we tend to like overthink things and like
Yeah.
can I really go home right now? Like is this going to like catch on fire if I leave right now? And like you guys are just more like, "Yeah, it's fine. It'll be all
Yeah.
right."
But also I feel like it, I don't know, I think it depended on the role for me too,
Yeah,
because
I
there
could see
was
that.
times like when I moved into payroll at the hospital, like I was there freaking all hours of the night trying to get it done, just to come in
I
at
remember
8 the
that.
next
That
day
was
for people to
tough.
complain to me.
Yeah.
No, but I remember like leaving, and I've never told you this, but like a part of me always felt bad, like knowing that you and like Carl were in there, like you guys working so hard, and then I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna go. But at the same time, it was like difficult for me because
You got to do what you got to do. I see that now.
not only that, but like I feel like because when they moved me into payroll, they took away my access to a lot of HR side of stuff. And this is an excuse for sure, but like it, there's just things that I couldn't do to help you
Yeah.
guys out, especially like I know with like your stuff, like you're very meticulous and organized, and I like, my brain works in chaos sometimes, and I
Yes.
that like
Yes.
my mess kit or my desk can be like the most organized
Oh
thing
my
to
gosh,
me,
this
but like
guy's
you
desk.
go in and you're like, where the hell is this paper? And I'm like, oh, it's like in the middle of this stack. It's just how my brain works.
Yeah.
But like you are very organ, and I feel like I would just get in your way and make things like things a lot slower for you. So I always felt
Yeah.
bad, but I always knew in the back of my mind, like, I would just slow you guys down.
We'll have to get Cara in here to like be the middleman because she'll know for sure if like I ever talked crap about you leaving or like threw you under the bus or felt like, oh my gosh. But
Well,
I honestly don't remember feeling
no,
like that about you.
I think I can say, like, I don't remember a time you did throw me under the bus, but there's a lot of times that you would make fun of me for my disabilities,
Oh, I'm sorry. I have disabilities too.
like my colorblindness, for instance.
Oh my God. I told somebody at my new job about that and she laughed so hard. She was like, that is awesome.
Yeah.
Like we literally work in HR just like
Yeah.
I'm telling you guys, some of the things you guys are gonna hear are probably gonna be like, wait, what? Like we do that in my job and it's not HR. Like
Yeah.
we're people too.
100%. But also I think like the fun side of it, like we had so much lenient. Like,
We did, but we
we
got our work
oh,
done.
for sure.
I
I think my favorite part, and this is like, we can talk more about this later. My favorite thing that we ever did was swindled the facilities person to give us access into the nurses and doctors snack room so we could go
The
in there and
secret
like,
break room.
yeah, the secret break room so we could buy snacks that you couldn't buy anywhere
They
else.
had like ice cream in there, you guys. Like
Yeah.
it was like one of it's and you know what? Something like that is so not uncommon at other workplaces. Like other places have like these little marketplaces set up for
Yeah.
employees. And like to us that was like gold.
Yeah.
That was like a
And
bonus.
we would always like, I think we had like a Teams chat and we were always
We
like,
did, of course.
we were like, oh, snack room. And then we all just shut our computers off and close HR, lock the
Yep.
doors and leave
Yep.
and just make our way to the snack room.
Oh,
Just 3 HR people go.
that's yeah. No, there were definitely some good times there for sure in amongst the chaos and the headaches and the late nights there,
Mhm.
especially when audits were happening. Oh my gosh, it's like everybody's like freak out, you know, like that
Mhm.
episode of The Office when like the building's on fire and she's like save Bandit. Like that was literally how it felt.
Save the hospital is really what was happening.
Dude, literally. But you know, I think that's actually really common for a lot of hospitals when they're doing like audits and stuff is like, you know, the chaos of like making sure everything is up to date. And you know what? That's where I really found that like I love those audits. I loved them.
To be honest, I do miss them. Like we just ran through an audit at my job.
Yeah.
It was a breeze. Literally, I was like, do you need any employee files? She's like, no. And I said, you don't need to look at these licenses that I just pulled and like had ready for you. I have
Wait, they
these
didn't?
No, she didn't look at any HR files. And I was like,
Is she gonna
"Excuse
come?
me?" No, she said our place was perfect. Like she was like, I actually like am gonna, because she speaks at conferences. This lady, she's like, I'm gonna talk about you guys and how like perfect it is. She's like, she's like straight up told me like, I don't need to look at the files because I know everybody is doing what they're doing there, and like they have like the credentials to do that. And
That's
I
a
was,
thing?
yeah, people are just trustworthy. Not at the
This is a
hospital.
unicorn.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
Oh my, I wish these people listening knew what those audits were like.
Oh,
I think the reason why I liked them so much was because it was like a reassurance that like we were doing our job and or if we weren't, and then
mhm.
like, you know, not to place blame, but to like see the learning opportunities for the team, you know, like where we
Yeah.
could be better.
Mhm.
Which there were a ton.
Yeah,
There was a ton.
yeah.
But
No, for sure. And I definitely think we need to get more in depth in those stories for everybody so that way you can hear like the trenches we went through. But the funny part was it really was the same people over and over and over,
yeah.
even though we had a team of 8 or 9. I don't even remember how many people we had, but it was always the same 3 people.
yeah.
And then the others would be like, "Oh, I tried to put them together."
It's kind of
Where?
like, you know, when you have too many hands in the kitchen, it's just like
Yeah.
at some point, like get out,
Yeah.
just get out because you're going to make it worse. Like, no offense. Love ya. Not really, but get out.
Yeah. So we definitely need to get more into that, I think, later on. So after the hospital,
Mhm.
you left
Yeah.
because it just I can't remember the exact reason you left, but I remember
I-
like we like talked about it a lot, but it's like you were getting overworked, you were overwhelmed mentally. I think there was like
There
just
was I
there's a
wasn't
lot.
getting any support. I mean, if you put yourself in my position, so I'm in this role, right, where I'm kind of like a top performer on my team, and then you develop crutches at a
Hmm.
workplace, right? Like people that you can go to, which I think is really important to have those relationships at a job because you spend so much time at work with these
Hmm.
people on the daily, right? And so I had you and Kara for that. And then you had the audacity to accept another job and leave, which was kind of
Worst
rude.
mistake of my life.
Yeah, which was kind of rude. I can't even believe I was a reference for you, bro. I freaking
I
like,
remember that you were sitting in my office doing
I
that
know I did it right
reference.
in front of you.
Yeah,
Um,
worth it,
but
kind of.
but no, like it was that you left and I was like, okay, like this is gonna suck, but it's fine. And then it was like me and Kara, and then Kara left. Before Kara left though, I was going to leave.
I
She
remember that
actually
actually.
she actually had a meeting with the CFO without me knowing
Hmm.
and told him like you guys need to give her more money because she needs to stay. And like I love that girl. Like
Yeah.
that's how you know you have true friends. You were a true friend to me in a lot of different ways there as well. But when I found out that she did that, like it was just kind of like, there are good people in the world, in
Yeah.
HR, in healthcare.
And like, let's like explain that because I don't think people understand like you're not just going to like your boss, like you're going to the CFO, somebody who's
Of
like,
a hospital.
yeah, like this isn't just like a small hospital. Like this is like a big corporation, big
Yeah.
corporate hospital.
Kara is fearless.
Yeah, like you have to make appointments to go to these. Like, no, Kara, like I'm pretty sure she probably just straight up walked in his office and was like, I need to
Probably.
meet with you.
She's very fearless, but you know what? She's also still very coachable. Like
Yeah.
if she needs to be coached on something, like when I was training her, she is well receiving the information for
Hmm.
sure.
Yeah. So it's crazy because it's like big people. And then you have this little, like, Kara's small, guys. Like, this small
Tiny.
lady. She's like,
Man, she packs a
yeah.
punch.
So I can just imagine that CFO, like, you need to give Ashley more money. Like, what do you say to that? And like, she's probably like going off
Yeah.
about it. So I can just imagine that whole conversation. Anyway, so she goes and meets with him.
Yeah. She did that and then I ended up staying and then she left. We had one of the many new directors at the time, and she had just kind of come in and she was one of those directors who was like a trailblazer, which sometimes can ruffle some feathers, and I just don't think she really showed Kara the respect that Kara needed in that
Hmm.
time, and Kara got a really great opportunity and she took it, and I tried to fight for her too, and it just didn't happen. And when Kara left, that's when it really hit me that like I didn't have you guys anymore.
Hmm.
And so put that into place. So now I'm alone. And then our recruiter left shortly after that. And so it was just me and our business
Was it the
partner,
recruiter I trained?
the one I trained to.
Sorry, in his words, nobody trained him.
You have people like that sometimes in the
Oh,
workplace, it's a gem.
yeah.
Anyways, um,
I'm pretty sure he
and
still sends me meatloaf pictures.
oh, you know what though? You gotta love him for that.
Yeah, I mean, he remembered something about me that I absolutely hate. He's willing to go out of his way to send me a picture of a piece of meatloaf.
I think he means well.
100%. He just can't.
Yeah.
He doesn't know how to like.
Sometimes HR people are weird.
I mean,
Anyways, so yeah, I think that was really hard, and then just having to do the workload of 3 people. So I
mhm,
was the recruiter, I was the employment specialist, and then I was also the generalist. So I was pretty much doing the entire employee process
mhm,
from start to beginning, and I could do it, but it's a lot of work for a hospital. And then when we started hiring for those roles, I was also training those roles. And when I would ask for help, I would just get hit with walls. And then there was just like low key bullying happening.
it's not in the budget. Is one of those walls, I bet.
it's just not, I mean, something as simple as like, hey, can I close my door for an hour just to like really bunker down and not be interrupted? No, I need your door open for walk-ins.
That's crazy.
Wild, right?
But were you still on? So our team
I
was
wasn't on the
divided.
other side. I was
Okay.
in the office with everyone.
Okay. Because there was, like, just to paint a picture for you guys, there was two offices down the hall from each other. Our
Yeah.
team was divided, which I think also, because I was on the other office that was like,
Me and Cara had our own little wing.
and I missed being with you guys, and I would go over there a lot. And so I
Yeah.
think it was really hard for me being over on the other side because I didn't like the people on the other side. But
You guys
then,
didn't mesh.
yeah, but then you guys formed one.
Yeah. No, it you know, when I finally put my notice in, which was very scary at the time. You know, it's just me and my husband, and he just, one day I called him and he was just like, give it to God, put your notice in, we'll figure it out. And I think, like, bless his heart, because he was obviously hearing your wife complain every single day about this job and how it's beating her up. It's
Mhm.
eventually going to take a toll on your marriage, right? Which it kind of did. And I think him letting me do that, and I did it, I definitely took advantage of that time to like really figure out like what was going on with me, because it was really bad. I was low key suicidal, thinking like, oh, on my way home from work, I'll just crash my car and get a few days off in the hospital. You know,
Yeah.
not that I needed that to justify. I mean, I could have just been like, hey, I'm taking a week off, like I need it, but I wasn't
Yeah.
in my right mind.
Right. Well, and I think, like, I don't think you're alone in that because I think there is a lot of HR people out there. Low key, we are therapists. Like, we are dealing with everybody else's problems.
Yeah,
And it's not like other employee, like, you're dealing with, like, well, I need this job posted, and like, why are we not hiring for this job? And it's like that there's things that are out of your hands that, but you're getting hit,
yeah,
like, questioned about that, and you're trying to figure out every issue. And then you have these employees who are coming to you and complaining, so you have to figure that out as well.
and we're in
And
a
you
union environment.
right, and you don't have time for yourself. And I think I kind of got in that same mindset as well,
Yeah,
but like probably not to the extreme, but more on the side of like I would come home and it like, like my wife would ask me something and I'd answer in a very HR way and then just
disengage.
right, and I'd be like, I need time. Like I remember
And you
in
guys
the
were newlyweds
right,
too.
like I remember in the end stages, I would literally text her and be like, I just need time to unwind. And I would lay in our bed for probably 40 minutes with my headphones in, just blasting music and just laying there because I like did not have the mental capacity to even go and talk to my wife. It
I'm
was
so glad you have her because she's
no
just
same
amazing.
because
She's such an
I
amazing
think
person.
she really helped me get out of that. Like Daniel,
Yeah.
like I think he did a lot for you in those times and was like gave you grace and wasn't like I don't feel like he was like we're gonna lose this like income now because
No.
you're leaving, like
He did not put that burden on me at all.
yeah
I think it's funny because like with men, like you guys want to fix things, and then with women, like
that's how I would be
we
too.
want to understand.
Yeah
You know.
yeah
So, yeah, I don't know, just a
we have
wild
the
time.
we have the perfect, like my wife is perfect like for me, and I think
Yeah.
Daniel is perfect for you.
Yeah.
Like if without Melissa, 10 out of 10 I don't think I would be where I am, and I struggled with that for a long time.
You know, to be honest with you, when you and Melissa like were getting pretty serious, I was like, is he paying her? Because she's so perfect.
That's crazy. I remember the first time you met her, actually. We went
to dinner.
Fiesta.
We went to dinner and then we went to the I have trauma from that day. Do you remember what you did?
I didn't drink that day.
No.
But I think that was like a...
We went to the pumpkin patch, corn maze, whatever.
What? But
I'm
wait,
on one side of a rope.
But was that... Hold on, wait. Was that the first day that you met Melissa? Did we go to dinner before that?
Yes.
I didn't even realize that was the same day.
Yes. Yes. Why don't you tell the story, Jake? You want me to tell it? I'll tell it.
I mean...
I remember it
No, I can tell
vividly.
this. a simple game of tug of war. I won. That's all I remember from that.
Wow. That's not what happened.
No, I'm reminded of it because we go to the
You know
pumpkin
what?
patch
That's your
every
truth.
year, and
That's your
you tell us the story every year when we go
because
to
it's the truth. I'm the one who fell and ate shit
Well,
in front of all those people.
the whole company was there.
Not even. It wasn't even a company one.
I thought it was.
No, we went
wasn't-
separately. We just went.
Or was it with Daniel's work?
I mean, they may have been there.
There was a lot
But,
of
like,
people there.
Yeah. But no, so essentially we like, oh yeah, let's play tug of war. Haha. And me and my husband are on one side, Jake and his wife are on the other. And Jake, and mind you, I'm an only child. Jake has like hella siblings. And so
That's true. I was going to argue that, but I can't.
And so he has a big family. I have like none. And so we're playing tug of war and he tells Melissa, let go. And they let go, and me and my husband fall on our asses in front of all of these people. I was mortified. But it's all right. I probably wasn't as mortified as that one time you didn't tip when we had catering at the office.
Yeah. I don't think I've returned to that place.
Fuego, if you ever did not receive your tip. It was this guy right here. Thank you
Hey.
for listening.
First off, it wasn't my credit card.
No tip? Bruh.
I remember the bill. I think it was like over $200.
Do you think they'll sponsor us?
Absolutely not. We'll probably owe them money at this point.
Oh.
No. So, okay. So, yeah, I think without like my wife and like even like,
Spouses are important
Yeah.
for HR professionals for sure.
but I think it's like finding the right person
Yeah.
and like they have to compliment you well and like be able to understand like where you're coming from instead of like,
Seeing it as like an attack.
yeah, like, oh, you don't
Mhm.
want to talk to me. Like, is that what it is? Like, you just want to go and hang out by yourself.
Yeah.
And it's
it's a
like-
mental load.
Yeah. And I think it's like, and like you said, like we were freshly married.
Mm-hmm.
And it's difficult because I just want to be alone. But at the same time, like I know what her love language is and she knows what mine is,
Yeah.
but I'm also very closed off. And that
Yeah.
made it 10 times worse.
Yeah. And that time in your marriage is like essential,
Right.
you know, because you guys are finding out things about each other. And there's like a beautiful intimacy in that moment, and you don't get it forever. You know, you don't get to get it back, you know, especially as newlyweds. Like, I just
Mhm.
remember how exciting it
Yeah.
was when like me and Daniel got married. Like, you know, you just
Yeah.
have that excitement, and then you kind of like muddle down, and
Yeah.
you know, life starts playing its cards for you.
Right.
But no, she's a saint, and I love her. And good job, Melissa.
Same. I love her too.
Oh, that was cute. Daniel, I love you too.
Honestly, I appreciate Daniel a lot because I think and like, you know, like I talked to him a lot. I think it wasn't a lot, but I like talk to him and he does give a lot of really great advice.
Yeah, no,
But he also is just like one of those people. I'm like, are you being serious right now, Daniel? Or are you like, is this a joke?
ask
Yeah.
him. Just
Yeah.
call him out.
But I also think it's funny. Like, yeah, I don't know. Cause I like, he just has that personality. Like, he is a great guy, but he also is very like jokey.
Yeah,
He just doesn't take things too serious. And I feel
He
like
doesn't.
me and you, like, we are serious people
Mhm.
sometimes.
like I said, it's that balance thing.
Yeah.
You know, so if everybody needs the yin to their yang, and HR people just really need, you know, that for sure. So
So then you left. Did you, because you went
what I did
back
was
to manufacturing.
I took advantage because my burnout really hit me one day, and I didn't quit right away.
Did you quit?
I utilized the state leave program,
Oh, mm-hmm.
and I didn't even know that I could, which is ironic because I was working in HR, but nobody told me that. And it was one of those things, ironically too, that like I wanted to learn about the leaves process, but because
Mhm.
I was so good at doing the other things, I never got the opportunity, even when I
Right.
asked. And so I ended up leaving work early one day and got scheduled. I called Crisis and got scheduled with a therapist. And he pretty much diagnosed me with like severe anxiety and depression disorder. And
Mm-hmm.
then he called it, what do they call it? Adjustment disorder is what he diagnosed me with. And so he took me off work. And this is going to sound so bad. When I met with him, it was on a Thursday, and he was like, okay, I'm going to take you off work effective immediately. I had to beg him to let me at least work Friday and go back to work so I could tie up everything, hand it off, and feel good about taking my mental leave.
That's
That's
uh,
sad.
that's
That's horrible.
yeah.
So he literally future dated my letter for me so I could go into work the next day.
That's crazy. You literally had a professional tell you like you literally cannot go to work, and you're
Mhm.
like, please,
Mhm.
just sign. Nope.
Yeah.
Let me go.
Yeah.
It's either you. Like I feel like you would have been like, it's either you sign it or like I'm just gonna show up no matter what.
Yeah, no. I literally like was begging him, like in tears, like, no, please let me go.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is so sad that, and I will, lesson learned, like I will never let an employer do that to me again or make me feel that way.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, took advantage of the leaves that I was able to get. And then when I finally went back, I put in my notice, and then I took like a month off, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'm healed. And it was kind of ironic because like the last week of my notice that I served, our former boss reached out to me and was like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I put in my notice. And she's like, that's really weird because I'm calling you to see if you want this opportunity.
Oh, I forgot about this period.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was like,
She was one of my favorite bosses, and I will for
Same.
like I
same.
miss working with her so much. I would like
She's just a very colorful person.
yeah.
And
She taught me a lot.
I'm concerned.
She was ruthless, but in the nicest way to these
Yes.
people. Like it was crazy. But like if all of us could work together again, I would do anything to make that happen.
Yeah, that would be really cool. But yeah, so she offered me this opportunity doing payroll.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of looked at it at the time like, okay, yeah, I'm good mentally. Like I can do payroll. Like I know a little bit. Like I'll learn it.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. And took that job, and it didn't last because again, my mental stuff just was coming up.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of like fight or flight, and like booked a flight to Minnesota to go see my mom, cashed out my 401k, and went and saw her and spent like a week and a half there with her,
Mm-hmm.
maybe 2 weeks, and put in my notice with her. And I was really sad that I had to do that, but I think just like at the time mentally, I just was not there.
Mm.
And I did that, and then I took a little break, and then I was like, oh, I'm healed again.
Yeah.
Took another HR job in manufacturing, and I tried to stick with that one. I tried to really like it, but started seeing like the red flags of leadership. And it kind of, I think, scared me a little bit. And so stayed there for 6 months, and then now I'm in my new job.
Mm-hmm.
And I took another month off in between that because I still had some leave that I was able to use. And I said, you know, I'll just use this for the month to carry me over, and happened to get a job offer and took it. And I think I'm doing okay now.
That's good.
So that's my story. The end.
Yeah. Well, I think like I think it's been a crazy journey for both of us, and it's just crazy to think
I
about.
can't wait
like,
to dive into yours.
No, I know. I know my background.
You're taking the lead on this and like putting it on me, which is fine. But I'm like, ooh, I can't wait.
I know you get like but no, I think it's like it's just crazy to think about both of us, like where we started and where we've ended up. And I think it's just thinking about our journeys, but the craziest stuff that we've heard and like we've had to deal with through all of those moments is like that's what we want to talk about on this podcast.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like I'm going to take this was my idea, this podcast.
Yeah, it was.
100%.
It was.
I will take that. But no, when I was thinking about it, I was like, I first reached out to you because I wanted you to be a guest on it. And then I was like, no, I think we're funnier together. But that's just me. And I think it's true because I think we feed off each other very well. But it's, it's going to be good to have another HR person because I think we've gone through so much. I don't think you guys understand like hospital life is crazy. Like the things you deal
These
with.
people don't really know what they're doing all the time. And sometimes, even if you are on the lowest pay grade of a huge corporation, there are times where you are going to know more than the CEO. I will just say that right now.
100%.
So do not ever discredit your worth.
Oh, yeah.
Ever.
Like, and I feel like it's not only that, but like the things that people say to specifically HR employees. Shout out to all the HR employees out there because honestly, our job is hard, but people
Yeah.
treat HR like trash. And I think it's like fun. It's comical almost because it's like we are the people who
Yeah.
are doing everything we can to make sure you guys are getting paid on time, to make sure like that you literally you have a job because of HR.
Yeah.
Like if there was no HR, nobody's going to onboard you and do all this stuff. But you guys think that you can just treat every HR employee like shit and they're going to stay.
Yeah.
And then we saw it
it's on
even.
both sides. It's the
Right.
employees and it's also the employer, like the people we work
Oh,
with.
100%.
So it's like, you know, a
Yeah.
hate sandwich. We're just in the middle.
That's the best way to put it. But like leadership, ruthless.
Yeah. Which makes it hard for the good leaders
Yeah.
to really do their jobs effectively.
Right. And I think it's like that when I was thinking about it, I was like, there's so much that we could talk about that we've never had the opportunity to talk about. So we do want to dive deep into that. And I think like we both have stories from so many different aspects. I mean,
Yeah.
I've worked in a lot of places, you have. And just it's not only like things we've experienced, but like I know I've seen things that I'm like,
Seen, heard, experienced, witnessed. Like, it's just people are just people.
well, let me ask you this. Is there things that you found that you could get away with and you're like, this is completely against the rules,
Mhm.
but I can get away with this, like it's fine,
Yeah, no,
and
definitely.
you don't feel
it's-
bad about it?
And you know what? Kudos to those places for hiring me because your girl's got some integrity.
For real. Well, and that's like part of it is I think like even when I moved into payroll, I found out there's a lot that I could have done
Yeah.
legally,
The
not
pay
legally.
inequities and
It was crazy.
how easy it is at some places that you may work to just complain about your rate and they will just give it to you.
Yeah.
Even if you're in a union environment, there is always a way to
There's a
get you a
workaround.
bump.
Yeah.
Always.
Always. But I feel like there's things like me and you specifically with one boss knew like we could get away with murder and it would be like we didn't do anything. And
Yeah. That's kind of scary
There
to
was
know
one
that your HR
time-
team has that access.
there was one time do you remember we messaged him, we're like, we're gonna take an hour lunch and go to Olive Garden.
And
that-
we did it.
That lunch was more
We
than an
needed
hour.
Olive Garden. We needed it. And you know what?
Shout out to
Sometimes
Olive Garden though.
some-
Good salad.
I love your Zuppa Toscana and your breadsticks and the Alfredo dipping sauce. So
But we straight up we were there for more than an hour for sure.
yeah, but I think too, like we were also at that point where like we were, you know, stressed with our jobs and like you just get to a point where you're just like, I need a damn break. Like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna take an
Yeah.
hour and a half and go do this because it's just what I need.
Yeah. I feel like, but there's things I feel like like Cara and I got away with. We watched The Nun at work.
Oh my
Before
gosh.
we went to see The Nun 2, Cara and I straight up were like, yeah, we're just going to watch the
I
full
watched it
movie.
too. I remember. But you know what?
But I thought,
Again, we were doing our job.
yeah, we had things done. We had shirts made. Like, I went and bought a printer so we could make shirts of our boss's face. Like, there's so much we got away with that, like, we knew we could
Do you
get
remember
away
my
with it.
snack drawer?
Oh, yeah.
My whiteboard mural?
Do you remember your freaking yogurt that you used to buy and then it like sizzled when you opened it? And you were like,
Yes.
only a spoonful a day. And I was like,
Yeah.
absolutely, no, ma'am.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Coconut Colt yogurt. They're like a little small brand
You,
yogurt place in San
you used
Diego.
to pay some coin for that. Like, it was expensive.
And you know what? It's really good if you're somebody that likes like the tanginess of like Cheez-Its. If you ever had Cheez-Its and Nutella, you're gonna
I
like this yogurt.
I wouldn't describe a Cheez-It as tangy.
They are though.
Cheesy, not tangy.
To each their
Anyway,
own.
but there's like a lot I think that we just like so much that we can talk about and go over, and I think
I
that's
think
like the
this is a
point of
good
this.
first episode.
Same.
I hope people feel the same way too. I hope they're not like, oh my god, these people are so annoying, but I'm gonna watch the next one. I would
Yeah.
love that.
I just want to like I can't wait for you guys to like actually like hear about these things and us like dive deeper into them, because I feel like a lot of what we talked about is very surface
Yeah.
and you guys don't even understand the
I think too,
things.
we're gonna forget, like we've maybe suppressed things, and as we have these like episodes, they're gonna come up and we're gonna be like, oh my god, do you remember?
Yeah.
And it's gonna probably blow these people's minds because they don't work in HR,
Yeah. The things we remember.
or they do, and they're gonna be like,
Or
girl, I
don't.
can relate.
Yeah. And I think that's like the thing is like one thing that I think I'm good at remembering and is like HR people are not perfect.
Yeah.
And so there is a lot of errors that we make and there's a lot of things we could have done better. But at the same time, it's like, what are you going to do about it? Now I just look back at it and laugh and I'm like,
Yeah.
that was insane that happened and the
Yeah.
outcome was this. But,
Yeah.
and I think it's going to be good. I hope you guys don't find us annoying.
I hope so too. I'm just like you. You're just like me. I'm just, what's that Barbie song?
I don't know.
Oh.
I was just, okay.
You don't watch Barbie?
Fortunately, no. I mean, I probably will.
I know you have a daughter.
Yeah. So,
Get on it, Grandpa.
Grandpa,
Back
I'm
in
tired
my-
of this, Grandpa.
Back in my day, we didn't have no HR.
Yeah, you just got fired. Anyway,
Nepotism.
So I think there's like it's gonna be good, and I feel like we could get a lot of really good guests on here that you guys would be like,
Different perspectives.
yeah. And it doesn't like I think even like I know people in a lot of different industries, food industry, the health department.
That's a lot of industries.
I was trying to think. I was
Keep
like,
going, buddy. Keep
well, I
going.
was trying to think of where like everyone is like, and everyone has moved around. I feel like recently, so it's like food,
Medical, manufacturing.
yeah, like everybody is out there, and even like
government.
IT. I know people in the IT world.
I think
Shoot.
it'll be really cool too if we're able to get like maybe not HR professionals in those, but like look at my husband, for example. He's a supervisor in a manufacturing,
Yeah,
like
he
their
works in a
perspective.
plant, and it smells absolutely awful. Every time I drive by, I'm like, what is that?
Doesn't it smell
smell
like steamed broccoli? Like boiled broccoli? That's what it smells like to me.
I don't know.
I digress.
I don't know about that one.
But no, I think like that aspect too of like these leaders who aren't necessarily in HR, but they work with HR.
Yeah.
And hearing like their highs and lows
Mhm.
and their views about HR too.
Yeah. Because let's be honest, like they're not all going to agree with everything that we do, and they don't agree with it. And I think just hearing their perspective, and like I have an open mind, and I know you do, of like listening to them. But it's funny because we're also like, yeah, you can't do that. Like that's legally, you can't just fire somebody on FMLA. Sorry.
Yeah, you can't demand that they bring their passport when they don't have one and they only have their driver's license and social security. Come on.
What if it's expired?
Well, I mean, that's a different story, but you can't be like, oh, hey, your first day's tomorrow. Please bring your passport. You can't do that.
Or demand to get people started within 2 days.
And they don't even have their license.
Or they're drug addicts.
Yeah. I mean, you could hire a drug addict if, they work in a pharmacy. I'm sure they'll be very successful.
Yeah, I do have a story about somebody at one of my hospitals who was stealing drugs.
Yeah, there's been a couple investigations at the places I've worked at too, where, meds are missing from the machine. What do they call it? The Pyxis or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, missing from that machine, and there's nothing charted. And yeah, it could be a unfortunate series of events for sure.
Yeah.
Document everything, always, all the time. That's
yeah.
what a teacher told me.
Yeah. I mean, I you know how I preach that and nobody listens to me, and then things come up and
I preach it to Daniel, and I'm like, "Did you document it?" And he's like, I mean, he's my husband, so I'm like 10 times annoying, but it's the truth. If you don't document it, it did not happen.
we should start having documented conversations with our spouses. Be like, hold on. Pull out a pen and paper.
On 4/9 at 4:28 p.m., Daniel approached me in the office of our home at this address, and
I think Daniel would go along with it and play along, but Melissa would be like, absolutely not.
Daniel has a very short patience fuse with me.
Yeah.
Lucky for him, I don't care.
Fair. But no. No, I think it's going to be good. And then we're hoping to get episodes out weekly.
Yeah, and also
that's a lot of work, but we could do it.
Yeah, no, and follow the Instagram, and if you have suggestions, like, we will definitely welcome them.
Yeah.
If we don't like it, we're just going to ignore it, but I mean, we'll still welcome them for sure.
Yeah. Like any good HR person, just ignore those things that you don't want to deal with.
Hi, per my last email, I'm just following up on this request.
Gosh.
Oh, sorry, I didn't get it.
Anyway,
so weird.
And I don't think we've mentioned even the name of our podcast.
Oh, you do it. This is your time to shine.
This is my time to shine.
You've been waiting for this your whole life.
Well, shine. Sorry, that's confidential.
What about the shh?
No, that's just the logo. It's just sorry, that's confidential.
Yeah, sorry, that is confidential.
Yeah.
That's what I need to know. Sorry.
Because I think somebody asked me, and this is like where like the name came from. Somebody was like, "What?" Because I was talking about it, like, "What would you call your podcast?" And I was like, "Sorry, that's confidential." And they're like, "No, like, what would you call it?" And I'm like, "Sorry, that's confidential." They like kept bugging me, and I was like, "Literally, are you dumb?" Like, I would call it, "Sorry, that's confidential."
Oh my gosh.
Because HR, everything is confidential,
Yeah.
and I feel like not only HR but like things that management deals with. If you have an NDA and you want to be on this podcast and that NDA has expired, please come to us. Please message us because there's a lot, especially if you work for a big corporation.
Yes.
Like I want to dive deep in those because I know there's a lot that people are like, I'm going to sign that I can't talk about this.
Well, and there's like a stigma there against like these big corporations, you know? And like I think it's nice to break that veil for people who think like there is a wall in between you and these people, and there's not. We are all, at the end of the day, take away everything, put us next to each other in a line, butt naked. We are all the same.
That's not okay to do.
Maybe like
in
some
a
of
workplace,
us
ma'am.
way less than others.
That's harassment.
But you know, it's just stuff.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's just stuff.
Yeah.
And so I think it really brings the human aspect to the work world for sure.
The human to human resources. Okay.
All right. Are we going to wrap this up?
Yeah.
I don't want to.
I hope you guys aren't annoyed with us.
Yeah.
But we, like I said, are hoping to put something out every week. So follow us on Spotify and Instagram. We're probably going to make a TikTok and some other social medias.
Jake's really good at dancing, so send him your favorite TikTok dances, guys.
Anyway, I'm just going to end it right there.
All right.
Nobody needs to know those things.
All right. Unlock your computer. Password protected.